Welcome. Good to see you again. Coach Pope, nice to have you with us in Chicago.
It's good to be here.
Always nice to have one of Coach Bruno's friends with us.
That's my man.
I know it is. I'm surprised he's not out here with us.
Well, and McEwen was supposed to have met me last night, and he had something come up, so I might get with him tonight.
Yeah, oh, he's around.
And, well, he's playing Saturday in the WNIT.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Coach McEwen, yes.
So he's had a good rebound year.
We're going to start head coach Gary Blair's press conference. If everybody could just please silence your cell phones. Also, just a general reminder that to introduce yourself along with your affiliation when asking the question. Coach Blair, we'll just go ahead and start with an opening statement, please.
First, it's good to be back in Chicago. Got a lot of friends here, a lot of good memories here, and Gibson's last night was as good as it always is, and but we're just glad to still be playing. The four teams that are here, we all have histories with each other. It could start back with Tara in '98 when I was at Arkansas, and that was when a 16 beat a 1. And then we went ahead and beat Harvard to go ahead and win that first two rounds, and then we won the next two rounds and got to the Final Four as Cinderella. And who did we have to see? Kelly Harper, who's the coach on the best Tennessee team that they've ever had. By far the best team with the three Meeks and Kelly Harper. And it's like saying who was the 5 player on the Chicago Bulls team. I can't remember. I just remember everybody else, and that's who it was, but I remember the Meeks. Muffet, we had a great national championship game, 2011, and I'm sure Stanford thinks they should have won it that year, Baylor thinks they should have won it that year, and Notre Dame thinks they should have won it that year. So all three teams that we might possibly face here, I have so much respect for. What Kelly's been able to do as a young coach going into the game and making about 3 stops along the way, I think she's on her way to being the next Muffet or the next Pat or next somebody that's in the higher echelons. They're going to have a hard time keeping her at Missouri State because I think she's that good. So my team's happy to be here. We're as healthy as we've always been, except I've still got Jackson out with a shoulder, my best defensive guard off the bench, and she's been out for about 5 weeks now. She will not play this weekend, and of course Leah Wilson, who did the ACL in Maui. Other than that, we're healthy. We've been productive this year, and I think we've overcome adversity and good play and bad play as well as any team I've ever coached. Are we as good as last year? Not as far as talent, but as far as result, yes. Is Notre Dame as good as they were last year? Yes, and they're better. They're better than they were last year. So I'm excited to have that opportunity. We had it in 2011, but we were not Cinderella then. We were a top 10 team the whole year. We beat the best team in the country, Baylor. Well, in that little run, we faced 5 straight Hall of Fame coaches. Vivian Stringer first, Andy Landers second, Kim Mulkey third, Tara Vanderveer, and then Muffet. I'm as proud of that as winning those ball games, going against people that I respect in the profession. And each year, there's something new to face. And I've faced Muffet twice since that 2011, and she beat me twice in 2 pretty close ball games. All we want is one more opportunity. But Notre Dame is a better basketball team than they were last year when they won the national championship. Questions?
Questions for coaches. Chino?
Coach, Kennedy had a 30-point game last game against Marquette, but the one play that stood out obviously was not even her like shooting or anything. It was more of her passing for the game-winning shot. How's that show her versatility?
Her versatility plus the 9 rebounds she got in the ball game. That's what's making her a complete player. Her defense was outstanding in that ball game. And we didn't talk about defense last year with her. That wasn't very pretty. But defense, when she's hooked up and playing it well in Coach Starkey's system, is very good. Her passing ability, she enjoys the pass as much as the score. Being in Chicago, y'all should understand what a good pass is when Michael Jordan passed it to Steve Kerr and hit the shot. Great players will do that. Players with an eye in their forehead would have shot the ball themselves. But she trusted our little point guard who had only had 11 threes the whole year. But she was 2 out of 3 in that particular ball game. She trusted her, and it worked out. So give both of them a lot of credit.
Robert Sessa, Bryan College Station Eagle. Gary, when you look at Notre Dame lost to North Carolina and Miami, were there any common denominators in those games that helped the fact that Notre Dame lost those games?
They were both on the road. The road is an equalizer. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Things happen on the road. That's all you got to do is look at sometimes the betting lines in the NBA games, and you say, my God, how can that be right? They're on the road. And Miami's a very good ball club. North Carolina's been a pretty good ball club in the past and at certain times this year, but Miami's a very good ball club. And sometimes you think your team is ready, and all of a sudden you face somebody and the other team gets the momentum going. And that's why you try to stop that, particularly in the NCAA tournament. There's not as many upsets in the NCAA tournament as there used to be. I think both on the men's side and the women's side. Now, there's always been, I think there's 4 in the Sweet 16 here on the women's side that were upsets. And I don't think you're going to see much more. Those top 7 or 8 teams that are on the women's side, they've done it all year long. And the coaches are too good and the tradition's too good. You are really going to have your A game if you're going to be able to upset one of those top 7.
Any more questions for Coach?
Y'all are pretty easy.
Coach Blair, thank you very much and good luck.
The Cubs beat my Rangers yesterday, and that was a sad day, so we're going to take off today and regroup. But I'm afraid it might be the same thing because Darvish is going to pitch on Saturday. We've loaned him to y'all, but y'all in years past gave us Palmeiro, which we're very grateful. So, but we're glad to be here. It's going to be a good tournament, and you've got 4 possible winners, not just 1 here.
Thank you, Coach.
The Astros' magic number is 161 for those keeping track.
No.
I don't know who was us in Kansas City this year. It's going to be close. See who finishes at the bottom.
Just a reminder that the Texas A&M locker room is open until 12:55. Our student athletes will be in here at 12:45. We'll start at 12:45 with our student athletes. I told them we would put them in alphabetical order.
That's what I was gonna do.
Coming towards me.
Coming towards you?
Me, yeah.
Okay.
guys go ahead. All right, before we get going, if everybody could just silence their cell phones. And when you are addressing a student athlete, please introduce yourself and your affiliation. Questions to all student athletes will go ahead and go down the line. So student athletes from Texas A&M are Kayla Wells, Sierra Johnson, and Kennedy Carter. Questions for our student athletes, please. Gino.
Gino Green from College Sports Overload. Kennedy, he had a 30-point game the other night against Marquette. Obviously, it was the one play that stood out was that pass late in the game for the game winner. Gary was talking about how your versatility has been on another level and how your defense has improved. Talk to me about how that's been the case this season.
The pass or defense?
Oh, the defense, sorry.
It's just one of the things I'm starting to take pride in. Coach Starkey emphasizes a lot of things on defense, and I really just try to set the tone for my team and really just get out there and try and guard the best player and get stops.
Lamont Pope, Chicago Tribune. Kennedy, just what does it mean to get another crack at Notre Dame?
It means a lot. Bittersweet ending last year, didn't really accomplish the things we wanted to, but for us all to get another chance and me to really get out there and be with my teammates, I'm really excited. Notre Dame's a great team filled with a bunch of great guards, so I'm ready to test my game, and I'm sure my teammates are ready to play as well.
Andy Seligman, AP. Just kind of along those lines, is there kind of an extra chip on your shoulder from last year? And just, getting the chance to knock off the team that beat you?
For me?
Yeah, for all three.
Sierra?
Go ahead, Kennedy, you can start.
No, not necessarily. I see the growth in our team, and I'm just really ready to play. I don't feel like it's a revenge game. I don't feel like it's anything like that. It's me competing to get to the Elite Eight, and Notre Dame's in our way. And the biggest thing for me is to go out there and make sure my team is ready to play.
Sierra?
I guess just we have nothing to lose in this situation. There's really no pressure on us because no one expects us to do anything. So it's another game for us, and we're playing a very great Notre Dame team. So we just got to come out, play hard, and play together, and we'll be all right.
Kayla?
Just to piggyback on what Sierra just said, just the same thing. We just need to go out there, just play hard and play together and follow our game plan.
Additional questions for our student athletes today? Gino? Wait, hold on.
A couple of days ago, football coach Jimbo Fisher gave you guys a motivational speech. What were some of the things you were able to take away from that going into the game tomorrow?
The biggest thing I took away was just to be tough. When you're on the road and when things are most likely not in your favor, you have to be tough and you have to have determination and push through tough times. I know when we play Notre Dame, we'll face a lot of adversity. There'll be runs. They'll go up. We'll go up. It'll probably come down to the last minute of the game, and he just said you have to have grit, determination, and push through. So that was the biggest thing that I took away from that.
Sierra, would you answer the question?
Okay. Sorry.
That's okay, that's okay.
I took away, he said, do your job, and I think that's the key in basketball. Everyone needs to know their role and just go out. Kayla might be scoring, so the rest of us need to find a way to get her the ball, grab offensive rebound. So it's not always about scoring, but what's your role on the team?
And Kayla?
He said that we shouldn't go out there. We shouldn't play to win. We should just play hard. Don't worry about winning, because in big games like this, if you worry about winning, that's when you start to choke. That's when you start to mess up. So we just need to worry about playing at this point.
Anything else for our student athletes today? In the back?
Robert Sessa, Bryan College Station Eagles. Sierra, can you talk about going against Shepherd? Did she remind you of anyone? What's going to be the key there?
She's her own player. She's very good. She's very quick offensively. Nice face-up game. She's very physical. I've been watching film on her, so she's very good. I think she's her own player in her own right. I don't think I really played against a player. I would be guarding a player like her, like I have in the SEC. But I credit her. She's very good. Very good.
Student athletes, thank you very much and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Just a reminder, the Texas A&M locker room is still open for another 6 minutes. It will close at 12:55.